Colum Eastwood.
Thank you very much, Mr Deputy Speaker. There's a couple of things about this debate that's actually quite shocking. First of all, the fact that it had to be brought, and I commend the Alliance Party for bringing the motion. But the fact that they had to bring a motion calling for OFM, DFM to do what they'd already said they were going to do is shocking, to say the least. But as anybody who spent any time on the OFM, DFM committee will know, it's not a rare occurrence that you have to badger and berate, plead and beg sometimes for responses from that particular department. It's also very unfortunate that there's no minister here to answer what I would imagine would be an easy question. Why have you not done what you've agreed to do? Why have you not published your own proposal, your own policy? But for some reason, out of the four of them, there's not one of them here. And I don't think that shows this House very much respect. I don't think it bodes very well for those of us who would like to see this sexual orientation strategy eventually published. And for some unknown reason, the DUP seem to be opposing this motion. We've heard it already, and I'll do it in a minute, read into the record how many times DUP ministers have said that they support the notion of a sexual orientation strategy, have said when it's going to happen and all that. Of course, it hasn't happened. And we have to be mindful what this is all about. This isn't just people who believe in equality and people who are slightly on the left or fully on the left or very far on the left wanting some notional strategy just to say that we got it. This is about delivering for those people in our society who have been left behind. Because far too often this House tells them that they're not a full member of our community, that they don't have a right to play their full part in our society. And it's about time that we started sending them a different message, Mr Deputy Speaker. The Rainbow Project and Stonewall UK gathered some evidence around education and around young people's experiences of education, young people from the LGBT community. And I'll read some of the findings because I think it's important that we remind ourselves what this is all about. 98% of LGBT young people hear derogatory and homophobic language in school, and half of all teachers fail to respond to homophobic language when they hear it. 65% of young people have experienced negative behaviour in school because of their sexual orientation. And let's listen to this one, Mr Deputy Speaker, because I think this is important for people to hear. 85% of LGBT young people have considered suicide, and 35% of them have attempted it. If we can't answer that, Mr Deputy Speaker, we shouldn't be here. And I don't understand why this House cannot unite behind this motion. It's a perfectly reasonable motion. All it's doing is calling for the OFM DFM department to do what they said they would do. A consultation took place in 2006. Cohesion Sharing and Integration consultation document was published on Tuesday the 27th of July in 2010, indicated that ministers are fully committed to publishing a sexual orientation strategy. On the 27th of September 2010, Minister Newton, another DUP minister, reaffirmed to the Assembly OFM DFM's commitment to publishing the report. I could go right through this. 26th of May 2011, Minister Bell outlined to the Assembly that the final consultation process would take place during early 2012 and would be published later that year. Again, 17th of September, same thing. 4th of October 2012, the Department outlined a draft public consultation document was currently under consideration. Right through to the 14th of October 2013, Minister Bell gave an update on the sexual orientation strategy, telling us again that it would be published and that a consultation document will inform public consultation of the strategy. Where is it, Mr Deputy Speaker? I'll give way to Mr Wells if he wants to stand up and tell me where the sexual orientation strategy is. Mr Deputy, go ahead.
Because she was quite happy to step aside and let Mr McCrae speak, but not myself. Such is my power with young women, long since disappeared. But could I say that the reason I was trying to intervene was that she made the allegation that some member of the DUP at the school had said that homosexuality is repugnant. He didn't. He said homosexual marriage was repugnant, and it's important to place that on record. He was not referring to homosexuals per se. He was referring to gay marriage.
Said what? But I don't think it's repugnant that people who love each other, from whatever their sex is and whatever their sexuality is, should be entitled to legitimise and legalise their loving relationship. And I think that's a very fair point, and I wish and hope someday this Assembly will get to that point. But to conclude my remarks, Mr. Deputy Speaker, because I did offer Mr. Wells the opportunity to tell us where the sexual orientation strategy, and he didn't take that opportunity, unfortunately. I wish there was a minister here to tell us. Unfortunately, there's not. Hopefully, we can listen to the airwaves later on, maybe even Extra or somewhere else. One of the OFM, DFM ministers will come forward and tell us when finally the gay community out there can finally receive the news that they've been waiting for since 2006, that the sexual orientation strategy will be published. But I doubt we'll have to wait a wee bit longer.
Call Mr. George.